Good day everyone and welcome to Newsology, a political channel. I implore you to please join me as we'll be talking about what is happening, especially in our department of police. We know that police have went on a rampage. They've went on the strike. Please join me as we'll be talking about that, about what was the strike about. My name is Mbalula Mbalula. I welcome you that you join me as we're having this great topic. It happened in the city of Germiston and around the part of Gauteng. Said that the Metro Police combined with the SAPS have come together for the rampage to strike and demand salary increase and to be compensated for overtime working. And I never knew this. Do you know about the danger allowance? That when now they are working maybe at night, or maybe there are some criminals who are robbing maybe at a cash in transit, and they will go there to face those and they will be shoot out. They say that they want to be compensated for that, right? And it was very shocking because they went now around the highways. They targeted specifically the highways to say that we're going to shut the highways down. Who's going to talk? So Mbalula says on his Twitter account, closing the highway using that state vehicle in an unprotected strike is wrong. How will they enforce law and order it if they lack it? This is wrong from EMPD. And we know that they have given 7 days to the department to respond to their demands. Because we are the police, right? We are law enforcement and we are the ones who are in charge of anything that is happening, whether it's in the highway, on the streets, or in the inner cities, but we are responsible. So they closed down some busy routes such as R24, westbound, N3, westbound, and N17. And there was just pretty much traffic there. People were so stuck and annoyed and angry, right? But you know that it's very hard to tell Metro Police to remove their cars unless you're inviting troubles. And you will see like dozens and dozens of cars just parked in the middle of the road, not knowing what is happening, whether it is an accident or maybe there's some cash in transit robbery. They are working to solve some case there or to fight with some criminals. Just see a lot of cars just blocking the highways. Let us go to the videos. Maybe you'll just see this for yourself here.
Check how they're shutting all these roads down, eh? Tactical arrangements these guys have. In and out, they know the roads, making sure that everyone is affected. The parading, the amount of cars that are coming in through here. The EMPD is here in numbers, and cops are here to protect what I assume is both ends.
Yes.
What I believe is the citizens and them, because you know most we can go wild. But looks like we're not going anywhere. This is a dead end. They're shutting down the R21, shutting down Galulis, they're shutting down Wartabo. They told us directly, if you're going, one guy was making a joke saying, if you're going to the airport, then that's your flight gone, done and dusted. And there's no way that they're going to be paying for it. So we have to be collateral, part of the damage that they're doing. We have to be affected in order for this to be attended to. So yeah. A Netflix show, right? South African special. Yeah, this is what it is.
Very nice. Very nice. A few moments later.
The city has condemned the strike, labeling it illegal, as Metro Police are classified as an essential service.
The economy has been affected because the movement of goods and services in the morning got affected, and human beings got affected. People who are traveling into different destinations, be it at work, going into the airport, and all sorts of things. And that is why we are saying we are giving this a priority as a mayoral committee, for we understand the magnitude of the impact.
The Metro, however, would not say whether it will be taking any action against the officers as engagements continue.
It is an unfortunate situation, and I am sensitive to the fact that we have agreed on a problem-solving process. So I don't really want to undermine it by expressing personal opinion. Safe to say that it is unfortunate, and we are apologizing to everyone who has been affected by what the EMPD officers did in the morning. And I'm sure as we engage, we will express ourselves on how we feel about the issue in detail.
A few moments later.
Public sector.
We've had challenges in funding frontline services. Health, education, and so on. About 2 weeks ago, there was a march to my office by doctors and so on. As we speak, there's a threat of losing 19,000 teachers in KZN. Department of Correctional Affairs, as we speak, have got a challenge even with their current employment levels to even pay the existing employees.
The South African government is running out of money. Why is it running out of money? The money has been stolen and the money is being wasted. We are running out of money because we are not collecting enough tax anymore. It's not because people are not paying tax, it is because the economy is not growing, and when the economy is not growing, a lot more people are unemployed. When you've got a lot more people being unemployed, it means there are fewer people paying taxes. The rest of the money that the government uses comes from borrowing, but that borrowing comes at a very high interest, which means we are now spending over 27 billion rand a month servicing the debt, which means we're just paying the interest. So we are getting to the stage now where we are borrowing money in order to pay debts. So the government is forced to institute budget cuts. Those budget cuts are affecting some of the most critical services that the South African people need.
So what simply they are crying about or lambasting about is this thing of saying that their working condition is not good, and they want this danger allowance increase. It is very interesting, and they want salary increase, and they want to be compensated for overtime. So when I'm looking at all of this, I'm thinking to myself that what such a time is this? This is the same time, an exact time whereby there's a dispute about the ANC wanting to increase tax, and they have explained the reason why they want to increase tax. The Minister of Finance, Gauteng, did give a full view of what is really happening behind the closed door, saying that no, the government is having this huge problem to pay or to sustain other departments that need finances, right? They are even struggling to pay some of the employees that are registered under the government, and they are saying that there are departments now who are just suffering financially and they cannot be sustained. So this budget increase will just boost the SARS revenues, right, which will make now more profit for the country, maybe to supply things like developing infrastructure and supplying money to relevant government departments that need sustainability. So now, as these things were happening, while the country now is having these tumults, these arguments, especially happening there in the GNU about this tax increase. Now, by our police department officials are now protesting, wanting this money. Now, the big question is, I understand their frustration. I understand that they have a lot of debt and they have to take care of their families and so forth and so forth. And we know that for such a longest time, since especially the government of the R17 of Ramaphosa came into power, many government officials and employees were crying for about to say that their salaries for the longest of time has not been increasing, right? So we know the troubles that our government is facing, especially of corruption, because not sometimes that the monies are not there. That is the reality that the ANC and the Minister of Finance, or maybe especially the President, has to just focus on, to say that no, maybe our corrupt comrades are the ones who are collapsing these departments. We need to deal with corruption, because you will just increase VAT, and the next thing, billions or trillions are coming in. So where do you think those monies will go? They will be chowed, they will be eaten, those money. And corruption, you know that it is a rampage in this country, right? Deal with the corrupt officials so that there will be money, even some more monies to run departments and to do salary increase for these public servants, right? But if now you want to increase and you haven't dealt with what is happening in your house, then those who are corrupt, they will continue to do best what they normally do. So it is very shame of what is happening, like looking at the state of the country, that even under the GNU there is no solution for public servants, right? And it is very sad again, just looking at President Cyril Ramaphosa. Seems like everything is falling apart. And we know when we call out these things, people say, but you guys are tribalist, you hate President Cyril Ramaphosa. No, we don't hate the man, but since he took office, no, there's some incompetence, man. The unprofessionalism that the president, there's that flag that is carrying there, right? Incompetency. Because now, many of the crises that we have as a country were not there. Yes, they were starting to emerge back in the days, maybe during the Zuma era, on the Big era, but they were well maintained, sustained to an extent that they were not like blown out of proportion. Like you'll find, like now everyone is protesting, the police are protesting, the doctors are protesting, right? Like every department, there's nothing that is just going fine and well, right? Securities are protesting, right? People there working for SASA department, Home Affairs department, everywhere people are protesting. So you'll ask yourself, what is really happening now under the government of the ANC and the GNU? It is very shocking. Please don't forget, you can subscribe to this channel and you can leave a comment on the subject below, on the comment below, and you can press the subscribe button until we meet on the next video, and I'm out.